Yes, yes, it can. All right. So finally, a daytime vlog, and this is a little bit of a special episode. I know we're only on our fourth episode so far. What is it doing? But yes, today we're going to compare side by side the two mistakes I've made: GX8 over here and the OM1. Now they're not on equivalent lenses. Also, I need to check my hair. The GX8 is on a superior lens, so we've given it a bit of an advantage. It's on the Leica 25mm f1.4, and the Olympus is on my 20mm Pancake f1.7. They're both decent lenses, I mean really good lenses, but I think the Leica on the GX8 is sharper for sure. Besides that, we're both in 4K. The disadvantage to the Olympus will be that it's on a lens that has really slow autofocus. So even though the Olympus has the more advanced phase detect autofocus, it's the GX8 which has the faster focusing lens. So we'll see whether that GX8's old depth to defocus algorithm will come in and pulse, or whether this lens on the Olympus will be its downfall, because I can really see that it's struggling to track me sometimes. Rather, it's not struggling to track me, but it's struggling to make sure that the lens doesn't do nonsensical things. But we'll see in the footage. The other thing that's different is, well, they're both shooting 4K and they're both shooting 25p, and the shutter angle is fixed at 50, 1 out of 50. Sorry, that's shutter speed, yes. Not shutter angle, but shutter speed. So like you're supposed to times 2 and get the value. So it should be matched in that sense. So the motion blur should be the same. But what is not matched is that the OM1 is shooting in its best possible video output. So that's 10-bit cinema 4K. I don't know what cinema 4K. What's the difference between cinema 4K and 4K? The only thing I could tell is that the bit rate seems to be a bit different, and that the aspect ratio, this one has like a 17:9, whereas which is like here, and the GX8 has 16:9, which is, and also the OM1 has to record in a flat profile, basically an ungraded, what's the word for it? It's like basically I have to do some color grading after this. It's shooting in log, whereas the Panasonic is like I can use that footage straight out of camera without doing any color grading, any color correction, anything like that. But yeah, so this will be a demonstration of, what the heck is this? Of the two mistakes I made, because the GX8 was kind of a mistake, because I went from the G85 to the GX8 when I got my GH5. So the GH5 replaced my G85, better in every way, but a bit bulky. And then I wanted a more photocentric camera, so I got the GX8. The problem is that the GX8, even though it was kind of photocentric, it wasn't as good as the GH5 for photos, so it just lost there. But it was way worse than the G85 for video, because yeah, it has a bigger sensor, 20 megapixel, but once you start carrying it around, the in-body stabilization just goes off in video, so it has to be on a tripod like this. And it still has the weakness of the G85 with that whole depth to defocus, contrast detect, phase detect, not enabled nonsense. So yeah, it was always a compromise camera, and I ended up just not using the GX8 as much. And because it was just not compact, it's like they're right next to each other, the OM1 and the GX8, and the GX8 almost looks slightly bigger than the OM1. The only thing that makes the OM1 bigger than the GX8 is that it has a bigger grip, and I quite like the grip actually. It's a lot better than the GX8, where it's just like a little bit of a handle, not big enough for my hands. And also the OM1 has that little hump where the viewfinder is. I much prefer the design and the operation of the GX8, but yeah, it's like two possible mistakes. The OM1, the mistake is that I just can't get the video to look right, especially in dark light. Yesterday, I think the mistake I had was that I shot it on f4 on that lens, and that lens at f4 doesn't let in enough light at night. So the result was that the video looked really bad, and it was an 8-bit video as well. So now we're going back to 10-bit. We're getting some good light. We have a fast lens. If anything, we're overexposed, let's hope. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to record a script for my work, and then we will go and review the footage. The script will be very cringy, but nobody watches this vlog except for me. This is for me to just get stuff out of the way, out of my head. So let's go. This script is for the Proton EMAS brand first anniversary. So let's go. This is a YouTube reel script. I'm going to close the door just so that I'm not interrupted. The problem with shooting up here is also I got that there's like a little noise that comes from the back there. It's probably not perceivable when I'm using this mic, but I can hear it. You know, there's a crock kind of noise. Anyway, back to this video. Yes, I think it will buy for the production being the first over has on but time is not the mass tricks we do and fast pass on this put here man is not all the ODIP should be with the market and I is brand if had been there's a few things I didn't like about that, and I also want to time myself. I wonder if I can do that on this old iPad. If only I had my I have it, it's here. So I'll just set up a timer. Why do I have so many timers? Okay, I'll set up a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds. I'll give myself, 1 minute 30 seconds. What did I not like about the script? Well, everything, to be honest, but let's see. I'm going to also do it maybe one paragraph at a time, and I'm going to stare at the camera in case I need to have some video of me, interjected. I should remove this and this, make it look more profesh. Okay, let's go. One year ago, the first ever EV brand in Malaysia. 1 year ago, stop. This is where things start to go off the rails. Always the first take is the perfect one, and you end up going back to the first take and just using that. But you have to take multiple takes, right? So. What's wrong? All the things not super for media, not and straight with the more affordable. So I think I know what's going on here. It's going above, it's almost like 2 minutes long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out some of this. I feel like an old man operating this iPad. So I will remove this is just a man. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to re-record the last paragraph, and let's just see. This is just the beginning of the EMAS brand, and if you want to be part of the story and win the upcoming EMAS 5, head to this website here and join the Electrify Your Life contest. That's it. So now let's restart and do the whole damn script again. Well, not the whole damn script, but let us I'm going to record from the start again. Start the timer. What phone or you will be even the code for the space and possible you must treat the funds in my episode on bread. The word. The very is number to my on my board and one in the small child in possibility and but we come inside is a demand and get some part is and bites. Okay, I'm done with that. Now I was told to write a second script, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy this script into ChatGPT and ask it to write a different version. I mean, that's what ChatGPT is great at, right? Just creating variants of the same damn thing. God, I need so I'll paste it there, and then I will say write another version of this here's a refreshed version. So I'm going to record my second version and then we will stop. Oh, I've got a text. Let's try this one. Maybe I should time this one as well. Reset. Start. Just I want to make it with the and then is made was in the room. This is the most you have the speech depend of flow. I speak about protein recommend my all the is eat access eat to this now be in ama is not ama is the file. One. Three is on all it is here to be all the more way since that make just fast the cheap and the game and you so in the if and doing immediately like you know just kind of eat this you should come my last. Okay, now I'm really done. Feels like half an hour of work takes half a day to mentally prepare for. I saw that the Olympus was losing me a couple of times. I haven't seen that on the Lumix GX8. In fact, it doesn't have the face detect feature, so it hasn't drawn a box around my face. But it's fine, it doesn't look like it's pulsing so much. So what else am I going to do today? I haven't done anything of significance. I did a pretty good story in the morning. It's a rehash of another story. So I'm not too proud of that, but it is doing pretty well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording here, put some side-by-side footage in the video. Yeah, maybe I'll crop it so that it's like my face twice, so you can see me twice. And then I'll grade the OM1 footage to match the Panasonic footage. I'm pretty sure the Panasonic is going to look so much better just from the GH5, the 4K on that looking so good. I'm sure it's going to look better than the OM1, but we'll see. It's 10-bit cinema 4K. Oh my god, it's really pulsing on the. I don't think this lens was not made for video. I'll give it that. So any weakness that it has in autofocus is really down to the lens. Sorry, I'm gassy. But yeah, I had to give the GX8 some advantage because it's a 10-year-old camera. OM1 is like 3 years old, so had to have some advantage somehow. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the video here. Maybe I'll record some more on the OM1 with that lens, but we shall see. God, I really do like the way the GX8 looks. Also have to check the battery life on that GX8.